you didn't say anything when you dyed your hair and when you got blue contact lenses, or even when you started saying things like neato and tennis.
It's how white people talk, Mom. Oi, Gewalt.
But Manhattan?
I'm sorry, but I don't want to live my whole life in Bear Creek, South Dakota. It's 1992, and nothing has changed in this country. If you want to get anywhere, you need to be blonde and white.
But you're an Indian, Jackie Lynn.
So how does something like this happen in 2015? It happens because even though non-white actors are finally better represented on screen, behind the scenes, non-white writers aren't making the same strides. When a show's writer's room isn't diverse, that show's representations of people of color can be unfortunate.
I don't care how many Jennifer Lopez-looking dresses you have hanging up in your closet. You don't belong in here. You can never understand what I'm talking about. This is a black thing.
We get portrayed in broad strokes, relegated to the uninteresting storylines, or trotted out as the token. When people of color have little to no say at the writer's table, we get damaging, unimaginative tropes, the kind that have existed for decades and yet remain persistent to this day. Take the black character always dies. At this point, it's such a cliche that it's become ripe for parody.
This is a window for the two of us to take out the others.
Real nice, Troy. That'd be great PR for the black students.
I am not an ambassador. I am a gladiator. Now, you want to win or not?
Oh! Troy made God mad!
But it's more than just tired, unoriginal storytelling. It says something powerful about the dynamics of the writer's room. A mostly white writing staff often doesn't feel compelled to develop black characters in a meaningful way, so their deaths mean nothing. As in life, black lives on screen don't matter. The Walking Dead was once among the most notorious examples of this.
And I'm the one black guy. Realize how precarious that makes my situation.
T-Dog spent much of the first 2 seasons without any dialogue and barely any character development, a fact many critics and fans of the show were not hesitant to point out. It quickly became a running joke that the show could never have more than one major black character on at a time, as if there were a line waiting patiently in the wings. And when black characters aren't being killed off, they're often relegated to the best friend role, i.e. the support system for the white protagonist.
This is my handsome friend Harris. Black. Barb. Black. I can't stop. Help me.
Sometimes this means that most, if not all, of their storylines are somehow related to the protagonist, helping them get out of a convoluted situation, listening to their heartache. Rarely are these selfless acts of friendship reciprocated on the part of the white protagonist. It may take much longer, even a couple seasons, than with the other white characters for us to learn anything substantial about their personal lives.
It's always the same role. Over and over again, tell them the role.
Well, maybe because we're not intimidating, but we always go out for the black best friend.
Always. Because Because you guys understand that all groups of 3 white men have to have one black friend.
Have to.
That's a rule.
Well, he's cool. It makes them cool.
Right.
It makes them not racist. And the black best friend always has the same lines. I'm talking about, damn.
Mm-hmm. Or like, no, he didn't. And the ubiquitous, oh, hell no.
In other situations, the token seems to operate in a world apart from the other characters, signaling that the writers aren't quite sure what to do with this non-white character. Winston from New Girl was precisely this in much of the first season. While Jess, Nick, and Schmidt had their adventures, the show's sole black character hung on the periphery in underdeveloped, stifling plot lines.
I love you, but you're white, I'm black. I understand where she's coming from.
Sitcoms love a weird foreigner. The character from a different country who speaks funny has difficulty understanding American customs to the hilarity of everyone around them, and is often awkward. Rarely are they characterized in any way that doesn't directly relate to their exoticness. While ostensibly white foreigners have occupied this role as well, the limited opportunities for other representations among people of color makes this an especially fraught trope for non-whites.
The car, the house with the pool, the beautiful woman that make the foam come out of the mouth.
Decades later, the trope lives on. Think Fez in That 70s Show, or Raj in The Big Bang Theory, or Gloria on Modern Family.
Ain't this what you want, the perfect American wife to make your life more convenient?
Do you think that's an American accent?
Such characters are frequently positioned firmly on the outside of the other white main characters on their respective shows. Gloria's accent is a recurring joke, as is the violence that exists in her native country, Colombia.
What else do I say wrong?
Well, it's not blessings in disguise. It's blessings in disguise.
Raj's Indian heritage is frequently a target for racist comments from Sheldon.
In our ragtag band of scientists with nothing to lose, I'm the smart one, Wallowitz is the funny one, and Koothrappali is the lovable foreigner who struggles to understand our ways and fails.
And both Raj and Fez spend much of their time demonstrating emasculated traits.
So I decided to donate my entire Playboy collection to the needy. Here you go, Fez.
You're giving Fez a box full of nudie magazines? It's like giving a monkey a loaded gun.
Which brings us to another pesky trope. For the first 6 seasons of Big Bang Theory, Raj was a selective mute and incredibly awkward around women. Essentially, an incredibly emasculated Indian character, despite being brilliant.
So, you guys work with Leonard and Sheldon at the university? I'm sorry, do you speak English?
Oh, he speaks English. He just can't speak to women.
Really? Why?
He's kind of a nerd.
And despite being a major supporting character off and on throughout Law & Order SVU's near 20-year run, barely anything is known about Dr. George Hang's personal life. It wasn't until season 11 that we even learned that he's gay.
I've never seen you this ticked off before.
Pseudoscience like this insults my intelligence as a psychiatrist and my humanity as a gay man.
Such roles in this character type are predicated on the long-held notion that Asian men cannot be viewed as attractive or act like sexual romantic human beings.
I have a secret. You're a woman trapped in a man's body?
No, you're a man trapped in a woman's body.
You're a little boy trapped in a little girl's body.
I am a man in a man's body.
When Asian men are depicted in such a limiting manner, not only does it keep them from having more interesting on-screen storylines, it also helps perpetuate these ideas in real life, too. If a show isn't diverse on-screen or off, people of color may show up only in minor roles, often in positions of subservience. These characters are the help, on-screen only to cater to the whims of their white counterparts. Sometimes they'll be the comic relief, providing quippy, sarcastic comebacks meant to subvert the stereotype they inherently portray.
What have you done with them? What have you done with my shoes? Nobody likes to see you squirm more than I do, but I would eat the food you provide for me before I would touch those parts.
Elsewhere, they're just an extra, with no real added value to the show or the plot of an episode. Regardless of how they appear in a show, the ethnic help rarely has any sort of power or agency outside of serving others. They reinforce the imagery of non-white characters in low-level, subservient jobs, as in this cringe-inducing episode of Sex and the City.
Nasty girl! You dirty cock-sucking whore! Why she dragged away? Oh, Samo! Let go! You're crazy! Oh.
What's going on out here?
Honey, I'm so sorry.
Or, as in this retelling by white performance artist Danny Hotch, who was originally cast as a pool boy named Ramon on Seinfeld in the 90s.
So I'm thinking, I wonder why his name is Ramon. I mean, this is 95, this is Seinfeld. I know this can't be the stereotypical Spanish-speaking pool guy. So we call up and we ask, and the casting guy, the producer guy says, oh, no, not at all. You know, they show you on HBO, they love you. You can make him whoever you want. So I ring Jerry's buzzer, I say what's up to Elaine, I do the scene with Jerry, I bother him, right? And then we stop. And then Jerry and the director, Andy somebody, start whispering something to each other, and they come up to me, and one of them says, so, why don't you do this now in a Spanish accent?
He turned the role down. A study from the Public Religion Research Institute last year found that 75% of white Americans have entirely white social networks without any minority presence, which may explain why this scene from Blackish rings so true to life.
Hey, bro. Well, I'm in, Andre. Listen, we're working on this Folgers copy, and we wanted to know how you think a black guy would say good morning.
Probably just like that.
Cool.
It also helps to explain why, when writers' rooms aren't diverse, as they often aren't, people of color aren't given the same thoughtful considerations as their white counterparts. Instead, these characters are crafted with the lazy, narrow-minded tropes of film and TV shows past, because that's their reality.
I am the token black guy. I'm just supposed to smile, stay out of the conversation, and say things like, damn, shit, and that is whack.
Thanks to shows like Grey's Anatomy, Empire, Jane the Virgin, and Fresh Off the Boat, among others, TV has gotten a little better at depicting people of color in leading roles. But a huge part of why they succeed and avoid falling into these tired conceits is because their writers' rooms reflect diversity. They include people who actually know what it's like to live as a person of color and can separate racist Hollywood fantasy from their reality.
She's usually so well-spoken.
For a black woman, she's usually so well-spoken for a black woman. Isn't that what you meant?